guys, it is the Turtle Girl. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. Last time we were here with the axolotl, things got a little controversial. Or at least I didn't think it was controversial, but the comments did not like what I had to say. I think most people didn't actually watch it to the end, but today I just wanted to share some things on the opposite side of that coin and share some things why axolotls do make pretty cool pets, and just a little bit of information about them. These are just awesome creatures and I just love talking about them no matter what. So here we are with Mochi, my leucistic axolotl, and let's talk about why axolotls are cool. The first thing, of course, is that they are undeniably adorable. In fact, I think the majority of the comments were like, how can you hate axolotls? They're so cute. And I agree. It's hard to hate the face of an axolotl. They just have this look about them that's kind of just dumb and just blank and just Pokemon-like. They're just so silly. It's like a frog with these crazy gills, and it's hard not to like them. They're just so cute. Along with this, they're also a very unique animal. While axolotls have been becoming more popular, they're still something that not many people have. Now, you should not get them just for the novelty, as I kind of said in my other video, but they are a unique pet and definitely something that can intrigue people, and it can be a reason that people get into the hobby, which I think is great that people are exploring aquatics and reptiles and amphibians because they were interested in axolotls. The other thing about axolotls is that they are widely captive bred, and by keeping them, and maybe if you get into it enough, by breeding them, you're keeping this species alive for future generations to enjoy. Like I said in my other video, they're basically extinct in their natural habitat of Lake Xochimilco, and as such they are also illegal to keep in some areas, but if you're in an area where it is legal to keep them, by keeping this animal, you're kind of helping to preserve the species in captivity. Even though they may not exist in the wild, they still exist on Earth, alive. I think you know what I'm trying to say. You're helping to keep the species alive, especially if you get into it enough and you start breeding them. Speaking of captive breeding, there are also many different color morphs that are available that are super duper amazing. I have a leucistic, which is basically no pigments except for black pigments in the eyes. There's also albinos that are mostly light colored. The wild type is kind of a brown motley color. There's gold axolotls, which are just beautiful. And there's probably more that I'm not thinking of right now, but because they've been selectively bred and some of these traits have been able to be discovered, there are just so many different morphs, so you can pick the look, if you will, of an axolotl that you would be interested in, and I think that's really cool that they have all kinds of different colors. And if you do decide to dabble in breeding later on, then genetics is a whole other thing that is really, really interesting. The other thing is that even though as far as care-wise they are specialized, which I did say in my other video, like they require cold water and all of that, if you already have some experience keeping fish and fish tanks and aquatics in general, it's not that much of a leap. The reason I was so harsh in the other video was because most people, if they had zero experience and are looking at getting an axolotl, it can be hard to just adapt straight into keeping a fish tank with the nitrogen cycle and all of that. But if you do your research, it is possible, and if you've already kept fish, then keeping an axolotl will not be that difficult for you, just provided you're keeping the tank cool. That is like one of the biggest things, and of course like the big obvious ones like filtration. The other thing is tank size. Axolotls are, I wouldn't say small pets, but they're not big pets either. Most adults can be housed comfortably in a 20-gallon long, although a 40-gallon long would be great. For some people that's big, for some people it's small. Honestly, with all of this, it's all relative and it depends on the person. But in my opinion, a 20-gallon, like the one behind me, is not that much of a space commitment, and so that's easy for most people to provide. You can find some kind of shelf or area where you can place that and be able to keep it. It's not like a dog where you have to have this entire space that's dedicated to it, or like an entire house or an entire yard. Also, there's the common reasons that apply to almost any reptile, and that is they don't make a ton of noise, they don't really smell, they are not gonna beg for your attention and don't need frequent attention. Their little brains could not know the difference if you spend 2 hours a day watching them or 2 minutes, really. As long as they get their food and their tank is clean, They could not care less. So it's not high maintenance as far as spending 3 hours a day trying to entertain them. It's more just making sure you get your water changes in, making sure the tank is clean, stuff like that. And that's the case honestly with a lot of reptiles. So if you're looking for like a super beginner, personally my recommendation would be like a leopard gecko or something. But if you're wanting an axolotl and you want to dabble in aquatics, then I think the axolotls are a decent option, provided you do enough research ahead of time and you know what you're getting into. And that's just really the main thing that I always want to stress in these videos, is that it's really subjective and it depends on how much work you're planning to put in and willing to put in, and also how much research you do ahead of time. I don't think any pet should be gotten without having the proper preparation and materials needed and a good knowledge of the care that that animal needs, because we want to be responsible pet owners, we want to give them good lives, all those good things. So those are some reasons why I think axolotls do and can make very good pets. And Mochi did not even make one single appearance because I guess he knew that I wasn't talking smack about him, so he didn't feel the need to come out to defend himself. If you guys like axolotls as well, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and also if you subscribe, you're helping me get closer to 100,000, which is nearing very quickly, which I'm so excited about. But more on that next week. I'll see you guys on Friday. Have a totally awesome day. Bye! Axolotl. I should have worn my axolotl hoodie for this video. Why didn't I wear my axolotl hoodie? I gotta show you guys. This is like the post-credits scene, okay? This is the axolotl hoodie I made for my Halloween costume. I should have worn it for this video, but I didn't think about it until now. So you're watching it now while you can click on another video to watch. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. In the meantime, we're gonna grab a thumbnail.